Hello there, guys. This is Aishi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, I am in such a good mood. Okay, never mind. You can see a lot of acne on my skin. But, anyways, why is it so dark, bro? Please. Yeah, here's the light. Thank you. Thank you, light. Okay. So, hallelujah. And this is the which part is this? This is the fourth part of the previous video, revealing the path and purpose of chosen ones, right? And welcome back to my channel. And if you don't know what we were talking about, basically we were doing a intuitive channel about all of the stuffs that my collective is going through in their lives right now. And yeah, so what was I talking about basically? I don't know what I was talking about in the last video, but I do want to talk about something else that I'm going on right now, okay? Yeah, and I want to make this thing clear. I am not afraid of hurting anyone or, you know, I'm not afraid of just being myself. And if being myself hurts anyone else, well, it doesn't matter to me because I know what kind of a person I am. I know I'm a good person, and I know I have the best intentions for people for whatever I do always. So, yeah, coming from that place. And sometimes people do need to learn their lesson. Sometimes people do need to stop making fun of you, stop criticizing you, stop taking you for granted, and stop taking you like you are some free, lifetime, unlimited, accessible data in their phone, in their mobile, right? We are not using unlimited GB data here. We are not. Human beings are not unlimited mobile data. Our energy do drains when we overgive, when we over explain, when we overextend our boundaries just to keep the peace, happiness, and to help others. You know, in the name of loyalty and helping others, I don't go around hurting my own self and my own feelings. I don't. If you have wronged me before in the past once and you still expect me to help you, to, consider you and your excuses, I'm not going to consider that anymore. You should have thought twice before you did whatever you said to me, okay? And I know from what kind of intention you said it from. People reveal who they are truly through their jokes sometimes, through the way they mock you. Notice when people are trying to, make you criticize, make you feel like you are unworthy and all that, and you are not all that great or high as you think, or hold yourself in a high regard. If people get triggered by that, just know that it's their own insecurities and jealousies coming up to the surface, getting triggered by you, seeing how much you love and respect yourself and hold your boundaries strong and high. That's what is happening right here. So, are you telling me that I need to feel sorry, say sorry for how I feel? And that's why I should help you when you have already chose to, hurt me once in the past? Do I need to drink the whole ocean to know that the water is salty? No, right? I just know. You just know that the ocean is salty now. So when people reveal you at once through their actions, through their words, and when their words don't match with their actions, and they reveal to you how inconsistent and what kind of intentions they have for you, better believe them at first. Better believe them at first, because you are going to fool yourself around by sticking around these people. Okay? See, human beings are creatures of habit. Okay? So if you think that they are going to change, if you just love them and help them and try to heal them more, they are not going to do that. Then people are not going to change. They do not change so easily. Okay? And coming from that place of understanding, I was a kid who waited for years for my parents to change, for their behavior and habits to change. The way they talk with me, the way they disrespect me, the way they beat me up, the way they try to, abuse me, both mentally and physically. I wished that it would all just stop and they would just be like, act like they are my parents again. They never changed. They never did that, healing their own traumas. They just projected onto me. They projected their own generational traumas onto me. And I kept thinking, because I was a kid, I didn't know back then, that one day if I just be very obedient, I do everything they say, I do whatever my parents tell me to do, I go wherever they tell me to go, I wear whatever they want me to wear, even the dresses and clothes that I would wear, I had no choice on what I could pick and like to wear as a kid. It's always what my father thinks is looks good on me. It's always what my mother thinks is looks good on me. It's not on my choice. It was not on my choice back then. Right now it is, but back then it wasn't like this. And even if I did buy something on my choice, I was always being insulted for that. If I, for example, let's say I bought a sleeveless top or something like that, I would feel so insecure and uncomfortable back then in my own body. I was very healthy kid. I would not say I was very fat. I would say that I was a very healthy kid. So I faced a lot of body shaming, a lot of, you can say, criticizing, even from my peers at school. It would be severe, and that severely impacted my mental health and also my physical health, to the point I just wanted to die. I just wanted to kill myself. I was going through all those stuff, right? And saying this stuff to my parents, like talking about this to my mom, at first she was listening to me, but she started joking about it. She just said ki you can't even protect yourself. As a kid, you can't even protect your. How is a kid supposed to protect themselves if you, as a parent, don't give them the role model that they need to learn? And kids are not supposed to protect themselves. They don't know how to do it. You are the one who is here to protect the kid as a adult, as an adult. My mom never took me seriously back then. I told her so many times when I was small, when I was in 3rd grade. She never took me seriously. She just said ki, yeah, things like this is normal. Is normal. It happens with everyone. So are you seeing the level of trauma and abuse that is normalized, very much normalized these days? And worst is, you Even after being so obedient, even after being so intelligent, even after being I used to be the top A student, okay? The topper in my class, always coming first and in class, okay? So coming from that place, I used to be the perfect example of a perfect daughter in the perfect picture perfect family. What did I get? Disrespect. Nothing. Zero. Not saying ki they haven't bought me things, or bought me stuffs that I like. They have done so much, but after abusing me, after hurting me, and then coming to me and telling like, oh no, I just want what's good for you, what's best for you. I told you not to do this, but you are still doing it, so I just wanted to make you right, to correct you. This is not the way you correct someone, by beating them up and violently abusing them. There is a way to teach your kids how to behave and how to learn manners, and there is a way for everything that adult people needs to learn in this generation. Seriously, there is no amount of, I think, even the idea of how much your actions, your words impacts a child. Parents of this generation, they have no idea about that. They literally have no idea about that, to be honest. They're not even taught they were never even taught how to love themselves or respect themselves as a kid. So how are they going to ever now, after so many 30 fucking years or 40 fucking years, learn how to, treat a child or behave with a kid? Yeah, it doesn't feel good talking bad about, you know, my parents. But the thing is, they never thought before doing what they did with me. And yes, I have forgiven them. It's not like it's still the same way that I'm not taken seriously by my parents or by my mom, dad. They do take me seriously, but after discovering that I was going through depression, that I was going through anxiety, and I had very much stress, and I was in, you can say, suicidal tendencies. I was going through that. Trust me. But I did come out of that situation, right? And that's why today I'm making these videos. Not to make you feel bad that your parents are bad, or to make trigger you that your parents are doing wrong. If you feel like your parents have did everything right, and I am saying wrong, then please exit and leave this video, because it's not for you, and it's a trigger warning that I didn't even give, but I'm giving it right now. You cannot expect anyone, any individual, to stay quiet and to maintain their composure after you disrespecting them and insulting them, and then expecting that that person will not defend back, that person will say nothing, that person will try to keep the peace and happiness of others. At what cost? At the cost of her own feelings, at the cost of her own needs, her own voice. Why? Am I not a human being? If you are a human being, you have feelings, you get hurt, you become mad. Do I not feel the same way? Or is it only you that has feelings as a person? That's why I have boundaries. And that's why, you know what happened today in the class? I was like, there was this one girl that I didn't help her, okay? I didn't give her any notes. Back then, when I was a kid, Yes, I was a good student, and good in the sense that I was intelligent, yes, and I always scored well, yes, and I always used to help others, and I thought that was being a good student. That's what it means. Being a good student is like following everyone, everything that they say, okay, following everyone's words, whatever they say to me. If I do that, if I just help them, if I just help everyone and keep helping everyone, they will finally recognize me, they will finally give me the love, the praise, the validation that I need. That's all I needed, the love. Love from you. You couldn't even give that to me properly. You couldn't even treat me right. You know how important and necessary it is. I'm sorry, you guys, I didn't want to cry, but how necessary it is for a kid to, you know, have that love, so that they are, they know how to love themselves, at least when they become an adult now. They know how to, you know, give and provide that love to themselves, so that they don't have to go around outside looking for that love in every other human being, every other person they meet, in every other friendships, in every other relationships. They don't attach themselves. They don't get into those toxic, abusive relationships and then expect that person to love them right. Why? Because that same love that kid was not given as a child, he or she tries to find it, search it desperately, madly, thinking that if I just act cold, if I just go silent, if I just don't do anything that they want me to do, maybe they will love me back. Or if I just do opposite of that, like overgive, over love them, okay, or try to heal them and make them understand by sending a whole one paragraph text, and then expecting my, you know, toxic partner to change, to heal and finally love me back more and give me the validation my parents never could give to me. That's how you recreate your childhood dynamics in your relationships. And that's why it's so important at that stage, when you are a kid, to receive that love properly, to receive that attention, that care, that respect from your parents. That is why it's so important. You know what happens if it's not given to the child, if it's neglected? She goes into depression, she goes into PTSD, she goes into suicidal tendencies, she goes into toxic relationships, she goes into, I don't know, hell a lot of things, hell a lot of abuses, because no one ever gave her the example of what love actually looks or feels like. She had to sit down with herself and rewire her, that this me that you're seeing today, she had to sit down with herself for years now. It has been years now that I have finally learned how to love myself truly. And when you learn how to love yourself truly, you, that's why no longer accept any kind of shitty behavior, anything less in life than what you deserve. That's why boundaries are there, not to hurt you or to make it personal for you, but to know what's good for me and what's serving my highest good, and what's no longer serving or aligning with my highest good in life. And that's why that I couldn't help this one friend, that she's not a friend of mine, by the way. She's just a classmate, but to make it clear, I don't want to get emotional. I just hate this. I hate crying in front of a video, especially in front of you guys. I'm sorry. I was at the verge of breaking down, so I just had a moment. But anyways, saying sorry, it's like saying sorry for being real, for for feeling how you feel it. Saying sorry for feeling how you feel, it's useless, it's pointless. Because why would I be sorry for just being myself and talking about what I have went through and gone through? I'm not sorry for myself anymore. And I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me either. Please know that things are not no longer the same, because I am no longer the same person that I used to be back then. Even I had a lot of insecurities. Even I used to project on people a lot. But when I understood whatever you give out to this universe, whether it be bad energy or good energy, whatever kind of energy you give out to other people, you always get it back. You always get it back. Law of reciprocation. If you give out, if you do good karma, you will get good karma. If you do bad, you will get bad. Okay, not by that same person, but by someone else, you will. And if you also, people think that doing good karma means accepting everything that a person is saying to them, means doing everything that someone in an authority or higher position is saying to me. Why? Because they are controlling me, they are dominant, and I can't stand up for myself, I can't say anything for myself. That is not called being good, that is called people pleasing. That is called narcissistic abuse that you are letting yourself fall into. Why? Because you do not want to lose that person or hurt that other person. But they are constantly taking you for advantage. They are constantly taking you for granted. What are they doing? Making fun, even criticizing you even after you help, making you feel like a fool, unworthy, shitless. That is what you want me to help you with? After you making me feel like this? Like, people really be thinking that is called good karma. That is not good karma. That is you showing the universe you are promoting and allowing more evil in this world. Because these people that try to hurt you once will never fucking learn their lesson until you go and be their fucking karma and teach them a lesson. Okay? Until you go and call out them on their BS. Call them out, people, on their BS, whatever behavior, whatever actions made you feel hurt, made you feel disrespected, learn how to call that out. No one is coming to save you or try Prince Charming, okay? If you even can't respect yourself or stand up for yourself, no Prince Charming is coming to save your life and save you. So get out of that victim mindset, victim mentality, where you think if you do something or say something wrong to someone who has hurt you once or twice or thrice, or chose to continuously disrespect you and not show up for you in real life the way you show up for them always, right? You are not a unlimited, free, accessible mobile data, are you? Or you are not a doormat that someone can just step over how many ever times they want, are you? Or did you forget that you are a human being and you have respect as well? Every human being, even a kid, has respect. I don't know, guys. I don't know where this topic is going, but This one classmate, I didn't help her. I just said, no, I don't want to help you. I just said that and I said it straight. Why to hide? Why to sugarcoat my things? Why to, you know, fake myself? Because if I did help her, I would feel like I just faked myself. And I can't fake myself anymore. I can't wear that mask anymore. You are comfortable wearing a mask and hiding your true intentions and feelings behind that mask about how you really feel about me. Okay? Deep down. But I'm not that kind of a person. I will be straight. If you are bad to me, I will be bad to you. If you are good to me, fine. Good from my side as well. But if I feel that your intentions and the things and words that you're saying to me and the actions that you're doing are not aligning, and I can clearly see you are being rude or disrespectful to me, well, I won't be good to you then. Because being good to you does not mean being bad to myself or torturing myself or hurting myself. Being good to you does not mean at the expense of myself. You understand? Because that means you being inauthentic in life, you being fake, you being a people pleaser, you being a nice person. That is what you call a nice guy who never leaves you alone, even no matter how much you push that nice guy away, how much you treat him however you want, make him feel like he's your fuck buddy. Okay, anytime your booty call, you can go back to him, torture him, abuse him, say like I'm in love with someone else, but I want to be with you. Okay, and this nice guy will never leave you, trust me. This nice guy, he will always be with you. Why? Because his mom and his own dad could never love him the way you are torturing him, babe. And this person, nice guy, confuses your toxicity, your abuse as love. You know what dangerous signals it gives to a kid who is being hurt and abused a lot ever since they were a child, and then by their parents they were hurt and abused a lot, and then they were said like, oh no, you don't understand, this is how you need to act, this is how you need to smile when we are taking a picture, this is how what you need to wear when you're going outside with your friends, you can't wear this, you can't eat that. Okay, or else I will slap you, and then slapping them and saying, oh, I love you, see how much I love you, I care about you, that's why I'm saying you shouldn't do this. You know what dangerous signal that gives to a kid? She or he confuses that as hurt as love. When you love someone, it means you tolerate hurt, you tolerate disrespect. Or when you love someone, it means you beat them, you slap them, you kill them, you abuse them mentally. And that is love. That is the signal that you're giving. That is what you're teaching your kids. That is what you're teaching your, making your kids learn as a child. Ki this is the kind of treatment and behavior that you do. This is the way you behave. And that is love. Man, shabash. Clap hands for yourself. Okay, joke's on you, because at some point in life you have to decide that this is the fucking last time that all of these people, I don't care how much close they were with you, how much history you had, they were your blood is not thicker than water. I don't believe in that bullshit. Blood is not thicker than water. Please, thu on whoever said this. Okay, thu on that person. If you think like that, go outside and you will find your real family, your actual family, people who actually know how to love and respect you and value you for who you are truly, not for what you give to them, that obedience, that your wisdom, your talents, and the help that you offer to them. That is your external features. That is what you, and you can say you makes up your personality maybe, or something, I don't know. Okay, that is your gifts and talents, you sharing them with the world. But it's better to be loved and accepted for who you are truly than to be loved and accepted for something or someone you are not. Because eventually that mask will fall off and you will no longer be able to tolerate that bullshit that people are doing with you. It's better to be loved and accepted for who you are truly. And that does not mean कि only when you share or give them something or help them or consider them. No. Being loved means being loved for whoever you are from within. Truly. Do you get it? And that means even when that person is not helping you, even when they're just being themselves, even when they're just protecting their own peace, even when they're just distancing themselves, or maybe they feel like some people are not good for them and hence they are distancing themselves because their intuition tells them ki something is wrong and I just can't give access to everyone, hence. Because I have seen, logically, I have seen the evidence of what has been done with me in the past by these same people. And how will people change? People don't change that easily. They need even more drastic and traumatic experiences and the absence of you to finally realize that you are never going to accept this kind of shitty behavior from them anymore. That's why boundaries are important. That's why you walking away is the only way you teach people a fucking lesson that they need to learn. So then they don't go around hurting even more people than they have hurt you like. And that is you showing the universe that you are not going to promote more bad and evil in this world. Because this is how bad people, evil people, okay, even criminals, this is how this is continued, this era of toxicity. Because people forgive them, and yes, forgiveness is fine, but forgiveness does not require reconnection with the toxicity, right? Just because I'm thirsty does not mean I will drink poison. Do I? Just because I was thirsty does not mean I will accept a glass of water from my own enemy. Who knows? That dude would have put something in that water and that would kill me. And I would be dead tomorrow. Would you do that? Would you put yourself in danger? Okay. If you want to trust people still, I mean, like, for example, I'm not saying ki they will do these brutal things ki where they mix poison in the water, unless they are serial killers and they really want to, kill you. And you are a very wanted person, very popular, and I'm directly going into crime, okay? Unless you are a very, I need to say you are a very powerful person, because only people who are very powerful are tortured the most. They are. That's why God gives its strongest soldiers the hardest battles in their life. I believe in this quote word by word, word to word, okay? Every letter in this is so true. In this quote. Because, yes, being a good person, you will be the most, and being not just a good person, being a powerful person, you will be the most, you know, tested by God and by the universe and also by people around you. Not to say they're intentionally doing this or they just want to, fuck up or mess up with you always. They may be unintentionally. Some people are very much unaware. They are so unconscious. People are living in such an unconscious world. They don't even know, see, or anything wrong in their behavior and actions. How do you think you can change them? People who don't even think that they have done anything wrong or said anything wrong to you. And they just think they are the only ones who have, trust issues, or they are the only ones who have feelings, or they're the only ones who have respect, and as if you don't have respect, and that's why you can endlessly help and hug them like this and be like, oh my god, I love you so much, I will always help you even if you don't help me, or even if you bully me, criticize me, because on the basis of you making fun of me. Like, on what basis, bro? On what basis do you want me to help you? Hmm? Do you think I am a. I don't know what you think about me, okay? I don't know. And I don't care what you think about me. You can go to hell. Just go to hell. Fuck with yourself in pleasure. Go to hell and fuck with yourself in pleasure. You're not fucking with me here, right here. No. People who, that's why, you know, are powerful are the most tested as well. In the terms of how strong they will give up on their self respect, they will give up on their love to themselves, they will forget that they are a human being, or they will forget that they have feelings and then just jump on to the other person who is not even respecting them, not even helping them out, or doesn't even have good intentions for you, and you'd still help them. So the universe sees all this, okay? That is the test to see how much you have fucking learned your lessons or not. Or are you still kind of, expecting the change in your life, expecting better people, better situations, better places, but you are still the same person with the same, still the same person, same place, exact same situation. Imagine spending one more year of your life with the same people, in the same places, in the exact same situation as you are right now. Would you like that? Would you really want that for yourself? Just the thought of that, thing inside my head irritates me and annoys me and burns me down my whole top to bottom inside my body. I hate doing the same things. I hate repeating the same lessons. Because that's how I love change. I love to evolve. I love to heal myself, and hence make sure that my cup's energy, the overflow of my own cup's healing energy, naturally impacts other people who are living in the shadows, in the illusions, in their lower self consciousness, and in the lower self concept and all that, to get triggered and have left with no other choice but to live and embody their own divine highest truth and authenticity and their own divine highest God's calling in their own life. And for that, if I am bad to you, I will be bad to you. I don't care. As long as I'm good to myself, I'm good to everyone. Because I know within me, inside me, resides God. And whatever I do, I always do for the best intention, for my highest good. And it serves me well, and it changes my situation, it changes my the settings that I am in, the settings that I am in. It changes my circumstances become better, my things get changed. Okay, things get better when you change. Nothing changes if you don't change. Okay, in life, that is what I have learned. If you want things, people, situation, and places around you to really get better, to change, first of all, you need to bring that internal shift within you. It's not just about, people think it's all about the external. We need to do this. Oh, we need to wake up early. We need to wake up at 5 a.m., at 6 a.m., at 7 a.m., at 8 a.m. Oh, we need to go to bed early at night. Oh, we need to do this millennium mindset kind of thing. We need to practice gratitude, journaling, this, that, meditation. Oh, we need to do all those resolutions, thousands of resolutions. But even one of them you're doing it every day, show me even one of them you're doing it every single day. You don't need to, make such a big planner, such a big, you know external shift does not happen on the external. That is what I'm trying to explain to you. You trying to control the outcome of any situation by making sure that you wake up. If you just wake up early tomorrow and you complete your assignment, you complete your work, the things will change suddenly. You will also get good marks in the exam. That's not a one day, one overnight success. It does not happen like that. It's over the years. That success that lasts, that is long lasting and permanent, that is how it's built. Long lasting success is not built overnight or in just one night, one day. Doesn't happen like that. It takes years of consistency, years of discipline, years of you reprogramming your subconscious mind and bringing in the internal shift inside your mind and changing your reality and mentality first inside you. The external world will follow your internal state. Okay, reality just does not bend for anyone on this earth. Reality will bend in your favor by your internal world. When it sees that your internal world is no longer accepting anything less than what it deserves, your internal world has become so much beautiful, better, and a kind and loving, caring, consistent, and emotionally healing and grounded place for yourself. That's when the external has no left with no other choice but to shift now, but to change everything for you. And it will not happen overnight, it will happen one by one. But slowly, you will notice every small signs, every small shifts that you always prayed and dreamed to God in your prayers. Okay? Even before going to bed at night or even during the day, that you prayed to God, that you desperately wanted. The shift happens when you sit down with yourself, when you heal your fucking traumas, when you step out of that scarcity mindset ki you helping other people means you promoting good in this world or you being a good person. Your goodness is not, it is not tied to how much people you help. You being a bad or a good person, that is not defined by your actions or just your, you can say how much you help others. You know what really defines you and your worth and what you deserve in life only can be decided by God, not by anything that you do for people on outside, not by anything that you are. Okay, your worth can solely be decided by God. It comes from the place of God. God has created you, these people haven't created you. So focus on pleasing God instead of pleasing people. He will give you the change that you're praying for, the breakthrough, the years of hard work, patience, and the success that you're praying for to God in your prayers, He will give you that. Not just people. And I'm not saying you will never need people, but you will never need yourself and God the way. Wait, you will never need other people in your life. Sorry, I said ulta, okay. I said it in the reverse, sorry. You will never need other people in your life as much as you will need yourself, your own presence and company, and God's company in your life, okay? Because if you yourself cannot help or save yourself, who else from outside will want to or be willing to do that for you and come to save you? People can subconsciously read your energy. If you are a person who naturally is not respecting themselves or not even aware if you do really love or respect yourself, I swear to God, then don't ask me when you get into bad friendships, into bad toxic relationships, ki why are you attracting this kind of people and this kind of situations in your life. You don't just attract what you want. God gives you what you are and what you believe in yourself to be. If you don't know how to love yourself or respect yourself truly, hence you will also attract more of those people who also don't know how to love you or respect you truly. And sometimes, yes, now I'm not saying ki you just attract what you are or not what you want in life. To people who are unconscious, they're unaware, they do not work on healing themselves, healing their traumas, they're not actively working on their, you can say, reprogramming their mindset and bringing their scarcity mindset into abundance mindset. People who have done all of this work, of this inner work that you call, okay, and have been working for years for this peace of mind, these people can still attract. Being a highly conscious aware person, okay, you can still attract low vibrational people, low vibrational and low consciousness people in your life. I'm not saying you will never attract bad people or bad relationships or toxic friendships. You can, but now what depends on you is how you respond to that situation. That is your test. That is universe testing you, seeing you how much you have learned, whether the inner work, healing work that you have been doing for all this time, are you really, being true to yourself, being true to your own boundaries? Are you really being honest with yourself? Are you really doing everything that you're saying to God in your prayers? That's how He tests you in these situations, through these experiences that you go through with people in your life. That's where you show the universe. And if you do settle, if you choose to settle now, God is saying that, okay, He will give you even more such kind of experiences, such kind of people that you do not want to be in, that you do not even want to attract or see a future with this kind of people or places in your life. That's what happens when you settle. Then less than what you deserve, okay? And when you know you deserve so much more and so much better, and you don't have to go around fucking explaining yourself and explaining why your boundaries matter, explaining your boundaries. You don't have to explain your boundaries anymore. You don't owe people an explanation for that. Boundaries are just there to protect your peace and energy from people that are not really meant for your divine highest good, and that they are not aligned with where you want to be in life. And that is why boundaries are not just here to to say that isolate you from people. No, boundaries do repel the fake ones, the fake people that are not really aligned with your divine highest good. Because thank God God showed you their real faces so you could just set the boundaries as soon as possible. Because if it took any more much, you can say one more year or one more month to realize that they were wrong for you, they were not right, they were not the right person for you, thank God you realized it soon. Your intuition told you soon enough, and you could follow and trust your intuition. The universe also sees if you are a person who trusts her intuition more, or the words of someone else who haven't even lived your life, or you who haven't even, you know, done the healing, that done the inner work that you have done, and hence you are aware ki what is good for me and what is no longer good for me. Yes, you can love people, you can still love people who have hurt you, you can still pray for them, you can forgive them in silence, and go and to God in your prayers, okay, in silence. You can pray for them, you can pray for their healing and growth, but one thing you can never do is go back to them again. Go back to the same places, people, and situations, and try to reconnect with those people, because you are faking yourself here at this point. You know deep down you are not satisfied, you are not really getting what you want or what you deserve. You know that deep down inside, and you know you want so much more for you. And the way your inner child, she wants more for you, she wants the best for you, she wants to be happy, she actually wants to be in places that makes her feel wanted and respected and loved and appreciated for who she is, and not just for what she gives to the world. It is that inner child in you wanting you, begging you to finally listen to your own intuition and give yourself the best life that you deserve. And that also means removing all of those people, things, and situations, even if they are made you once feel comfortable, made you once feel good about you. But if they are no longer making you feel really comfortable deep down, really good with everything they are doing and saying with you, or really comfortable and okay with everything that they are doing with you, you don't have to be okay with accepting everything that you do not want to accept in life. You don't have to accept everything and such things in life, okay? Some things are just not acceptable. And you don't have to accept that same kind of shitty life. If you want change, if you want better, get out, leave, walk away from those people. Even if it hurts you, it will make you feel so much better and so much good and so much loved by yourself, finally seen and acknowledged by yourself. You know why? Because all of these internal desires that your inner child was wishing for, begging you to see it for, she will feel respected, she will feel finally safe and so happy and so proud to be with you when you just find that courage and strength to, move on to something that is actually better for you, that is actually serving your divine highest good. And maybe you will not immediately get a good friend, or you will not immediately meet a good partner or healthy partner for you, but it's fine. As you keep pouring into yourself, as you keep loving yourself, pouring that energy every single day within you, and then you show up for the world, whoever you want to show up for, and be discerning in who you want to help and who you do not want to help, because you know at this point who needs and deserves your help, and who are those people who do not really need, and they do not deserve your help. That is discernment. That is you using God's gifts, talents, and powers that He has given to you, and not letting it rust like iron at the back burner, okay? And putting it in the back burner. No. Anyways, guys, I just created such a big video. It was such a long topic, but I just felt this creative nudge. Okay, you know, all those nudges, it always shows up in me. So never say sorry for how you feel. If someone has made you feel bad about yourself, if someone has made you feel like, you know, you don't deserve better, you don't deserve more, or this is all that you're capable of, this kind of low vibrational treatment that people choose to give you, even after you healing yourself, working on, you know, on your self concept constantly. I'm not saying you will not attract these kind of low vibrational people and their treatment and experiences, but make sure that you are setting your boundaries at once when you see the actions that these people are showing you, because the actions is who they are, not what you think who they are. Okay, not what you believe in who they are. Because I as a person, I have such rose colored glasses put on me. Okay, and I like used to be the person who always used to see the best and best in people. Coming from that place, it never took me anywhere in life. It never made me, you know, it never get me what I deserved. It never got me any happiness. At the end, I was always heartbroken by that. At the end, I was the one suffering, because I had such this kind of, you know, such a positive and trying to see only the best they have done for me, and that has eventually got me to a point where I was hurting myself constantly by staying around these kind of toxic people that did not align with me in any ways, or it did not serve me or my peace or my true happiness. I was not happy when I was with them, not truly. And I wanted to not accept that and still stay stuck. You can say stuck is just a feeling. That's why you can, anytime you make the decision abruptly to leave, you will immediately see how temporary your feelings are, how temporary are all of the experiences that you are going through, and what exactly are you afraid of losing when nothing in this world belongs to you. One day we will all die, and we have been born alone, we will die alone. Okay, and you will not be able to take all of these people that you love, all of these dresses, all of this makeup, all of this, I don't know, numerous things that you possess, even this phone that I'm making a video on. I will not be able to take a single thing with me when I die, go to hell or in heaven. Okay, not a single thing, but my own soul, just my own soul will always be there for me. That is permanent. So make sure you are loving her, because the only person that will not just come in and exit whenever she wants or whenever he wants in your life is you. You are the only constant in your life, and change is the only constant in my life as well. Okay, Socrates has said this to me, and I love this quote from him. So, change is the only constant in life. Change is my only constant. It's my evolution has no peak. I keep evolving, 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 because I deserve to see the best version of myself at the end. I deserve that. I deserve to see what happens until the end. And if it's not okay, if things are not okay right now, it's not the end. I swear to you, trust me, it's not the end. Things are going to get so much better once you start believing that you deserve better and no longer feel guilty or sorry for not being available to people and leaving behind all those people who actually does not really serve your divine highest good in life. Truly ask yourself few of the questions, three precious and important questions that I will give to you. Reflect on that today. First is, does this person really give you peace when you're around them? Do they make your nervous system feel safe and peace when you are around them? Second question. Now this will shake you up, okay? This will really make the mask drop off their face and off of you as well. You will no longer be able to wear it anymore. Would you want to be with this person that you are in your life today if they do not change? If they do not change, would you still want to spend the rest of your life with this person then? That's the real question. That's the shadow work. That's the healing. And healing is not pretty. It's painful, but it's also powerful at the same time. Healing is not as beautiful. It is beautiful when you finally overcome the lessons, the hardships, but the process itself takes a lot of time. That's why. And the last question is, would you want your kids, or you can say, yeah, your kids, to be with this person as their father or as their mother? Would you want this person as your future kids father or mother? Or you can say, would you want this person to be there for you for the rest of your life? If they were never going to change. Are you confusing chemistry with chaos? Are you confusing abuse with love? And are you confusing inconsistency with efforts? And are you confusing passion with mixed signals and breadcrumbs? Really ask yourself deep down all of these questions that I have just asked you, because this is going to change your life, your whole entire life, for the next few months, and even for the next years to come by in your life, okay? This is going to entirely change your life from today. Really put your hand on your heart and be honest with yourself. Would you really want this for your kids? You're not just marrying their cute face, the intelligent brain. You're not just marrying that. You're just not just marrying your best friend, okay? You are choosing the person who you will spend the entire 30 or 40 or 50 more years of your life with. Do you imagine how long that time period is? You're not just marrying that intelligent brain or that cute face or that pretty good looks, or that, you can say, if they go to the gym or not, that gym body. You're not just marrying that or dating with that or being in a friendship with that. You are choosing a person who is responsible for your own nervous system and the way you feel about yourself as well. You are choosing a person who will now be in control of how good or bad you feel about yourself. So make sure you choose the right person. That's why. Because the way they respond, the way they emotionally show up, doesn't matter how much compatible you are with them, how much emotionally available they are to you, will at the end decide this relationship is going to be long term or short term. So ask yourself this question deeply. What do you think their attachment style is? Do you think they are emotionally unavailable? Because people do not change. Unless until after years and years, they see you already move on and dating someone else as well. And maybe you, even after you get married, maybe they don't change. Some very few change, and not all people change because they don't want to do that willingly. They have accepted the average. They are good with their life. They are fine with living that kind of, you can say, whatever they are getting basically on the plate, even if it's not something they deserve. They're good with that. They are good with that ordinary kind of small box images of the society, what good looks good on papers, picture perfect kind of family, friendship, picture perfect, just for the social media. It's your life's question. It is a life question for you. These people are not worried about their life. I don't think they are really. No, I don't think they are. But if you even this much of love yourself and you respect yourself, please make sure you observe the actions and how consistent those actions are. Because those consistent actions, if it's good, then yes, it will be consistent for the rest of your life as well. If you choose to spend time with that person, they will not waste your time then. But if the consistent actions are bad and they're poor, and that emotional responsiveness from them, that other person is going down and down and down each time you show up more, or you try to make things work, give more effort, give more energy, things just go even more low. Learn where to stop, learn where to set your limits. You are a human being, you are not God. Remember that. Set your limits, set your boundaries. You can love but not overgive. You can love still people from a distance and wish them good and well and move on with your life, but you are no longer allowed to reconnect or give people second chances or benefit of the doubt. Because that's where, if you do settle and if you do choose to give second chances and give people the benefit of the doubt, you will soon enough realize you shouldn't have done that. You will regret it, and God will show it to you once again and again. Those people's true faces, their bitchiness, the ugliness inside their heart, that you will have no other choice but you will be forced to let go of that person, of that situation, of that place. And it will get dirty. When it's done by God, it's going to get dirty. Just know that. If you are willing to leave by yourself, fine. If not, God has to push you off, pull you apart from them. And if God does that, just know it's going to get dirty. Don't expect it to be good. Because God will no longer make it comfortable or good for you to leave then. God will not. God will make sure you go through even more discomfort. So you are left with no choice but to leave these things, situations, and places which are no longer meant for your highest good by hurting you, so that you learn to stop hurting yourself and to start loving you first before loving anyone else or leaving for anyone else on outside to love them or go in search of them. Okay, anyways, I will end this video for now here. And about the previous intuitive messages that I was getting, I will continue that later on. For now, I would like to end the video here. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for listening to my pep talk. I appreciate you if you have watched it and made it until here, till the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Take care. Goodbye. And I will see you guys soon in the next part of this video, as I post, soon as I post it. Okay, you will come to know. So make sure your notifications are on. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you're new to my channel, you're most welcome here. I'm so happy to have you here, all of my new members of this channel. And if you're an old one, my old friend, I'm so happy to have you. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Keep taking care of yourself. Keep being consistent and proud of yourself. Okay, keep loving yourself. Keep respecting yourself. Spread love to others by just being you. Okay, make sure you're good to yourself, and being good to you does not necessarily mean being good to others always. You need to know where to stop being good to people, and I can say where to stop being nice to people or good to people anymore. I'm not saying being a nice person necessarily means it's always fake. Sometimes nice people are just trying to be helping and kind, I can say. But being kind is very different from being nice, in my opinion, because nice can sometimes be overextending your boundaries. Sometimes it can come off as too much being available for others at the cost of your own, which you should not do, by the way. But on the other hand, if you are really just being a kind person, I always appreciate that, because being kind means also knowing where to stop, where is your limits, and when to stop being good to people who are hurting you and stand up for your own justice in life. That's what it is. Making sure you are not promoting more evil and harm in this on this earth by promoting bad behavior and shitty behavior, hurtful, disrespectful behavior from others, so that you teach them a fucking lesson, so they never go on hurting others, and hence you bring justice to the world. So that, in my opinion, is being kind. Really just helping someone without any expectation of getting that help ever back from them again, and without any more, you can say, expectation that you need to help them more, or you know you need to always be there for them just because you have helped them once. Maybe it does not mean like that. And being kind means also knowing who deserves your kindness, not just everyone, because subconsciously, again, we can read people's energies, and we need to know who really deserves that kindness from us and who do not deserve that from us. I wouldn't just go and help a person who I know is not kind to me And also is my intuition tells me that I cannot help this person or I cannot trust them with my life. If I were to trust this person with my life, would I want to change lives with them, and will I be okay with that? If I'm not ready to switch my bodies and change my lives with someone, then why would I trust them enough to help them or to ask for help from them? You know, if their life does not inspire you, why would you take advices from them? You take advices from people who are already living the dream life that you want to be and reach in. Not from people that you do not feel inspired, and people who are not exactly where you want to be in life, because this is not the example that you want to be. And for me, biggest question before if I can trust anyone or not is, would I want to switch my bodies and exchange my life with this person if I were to be, asking them for help, or them asking me for help? Would I help them then by exchanging my life with them? Would I do that? And if the answer is no, the answer is they do not really inspire me, make me feel good about living that kind of life they are living, hands off, mask off. Mask is always off. There's no mask here to wear. I have dropped long ago my mask. Okay? I don't know, I even threw it in the air. I don't even know where it's now. I'm free. See, you find it cringe, and I find it happy, and I find it good, and that's why. And I find it funny. You find it cringe. You find it weird ass vibe. I find it funny. I find it happy. That's why I'm more free than you. That's why I'm more in peace and happier than you in life. And that's why I'm not talking like ugly grumblings and talking shit about other people behind their back. It's only the ugly gremlins that will choose to project their insecurities, hatred, and jealousy onto you and talk shit about your life because they are not themselves that happy with their own life, babe. That's the reason, baby. That's the reason. Even when you are such a good person and you still receive so much hate, just remember this, that ugly gremlins, people who are naturally ugly from inside, end up destroying their own lives someday, anyways. So, why fight with them? Why prove your worth to these people? Why tell them that you are good? Let them think what they want to think. Let them think they are bad. You are bad, okay? You are a bad person because you didn't give them access, because you didn't help them anymore. Let them think all of that. Let them think you are a villain in their story. You are a villain. Yes, I'm the main character in my own story. I'm not the villain, but I'm the T, okay? I'm the main character of my own life, and that's why I have a choice on who I allow and what I allow in my life. And if that really aligns with my divine highest good and my own personal interest and my own divine highest good in life, basically, and if the answer is no to that question, why would I allow you? Simple as that. It's nothing nasty, bro. It's nothing personal. It's just exceptional. It's just not for everyone. You're not meant for everyone. And everyone is not meant for you. And fine, thank God, everyone is not meant for you. I would have even forgot who I am if everyone was like me and I wanted to be with everyone. Imagine, would you even know who you are then? My god, that is terrifying thought. Anyways, never mind. You would forget your own identity. You would be in identity crisis. Because if everyone had the same interest, same choice like you, what would you be inspired of? What change can you even bring to your life if other people weren't different from you? If other people weren't more successful or more happier than you, who would you want to be? Or what would you want to achieve in life then? What would be the inspiration? From where would you get it? Because there would be nothing to change, and life would be so fun, so always easy, and so boring then at the same time, because you already know it's going to be the same every single day, and that's nothing new, there's nothing to change, and life is always just going to be the same, which I hate that thought. I don't want my life to be the same all the time. I want change, okay? I love change. I like to shake my whole routine and ass off, okay? If I have to. I don't like structures, I don't like routines. I like to go with my own flow. From my heart, I love listening to my own intuition, and if my intuition tells me I'm low on energy, well, I will not do task that makes me feel even more low on my energy and inspiration then, and takes away dopamine and all of my energy, draining it off, then I will not do such things. I will not entertain or allow or consume such people, media, social media, and places and situations in my life. Then I will take a day off, I will take a day break, and I will not find it explainable enough to say why I'm doing what I'm doing, because yeah, that's just me. And if I want to change, yes, I will change, but by my own self. Yes, if I do want to change, from a place of love, not from a place of that I hate what I am today. No, I love what I am today. I love what I was yesterday. I will keep loving what I will be tomorrow. And every single day, there will be love, acceptance, and then evolution, making changes and shifts as per as I feel is right for me, and I need to do that. That's all. Anyways, goodbye, you guys. Take care. Smile, keep smiling, keep shining. And I will see you guys in the next video, in the next part of this video. This is going to be a continuation, okay? So don't think this video is over really. It's just over for this fourth part of the video. Take care, bye.